Hey again, guys. Hoping this will be the last 15-minute or less segment about Chapter 1. Just wanted to give you some finer points on how to go about doing some of the assignment work we have here. As I was saying before, in 1.1, marking these keys as you find them on the keyboard. If you can do this neater than I'm doing with my newly found ink to go pen here. They want a C, a D, a G, and a B. Right? Just be particular about that. You want to kind of know them out of alphabetical order. Of course, alphabetical order works, but to know that an E is the one to the right of any pair. And I could go in and I could pick E there, E there, E there, regardless of whether it's next to a D and therefore a C. If you're in a musical situation and you have to find E because you know it's 2 to the right of C, you'll be figuring out where E is while the rest of the band is in bar 5. That's sort of the reason for doing it like this. There'd be E, then F, then A, then B. This is so much fun. Drawing a treble clef with this thing is not going to be that neat. Now is it? Let's draw a better one than that. That one's a pretty easy thing to draw. And make the tail wrap around the second line like that. Neatness is a virtue, as you know. Let's clear this. Later on in this assignment field, they ask you to, that's right, I have to do this. No, I have to do this. There we go. And drawing the bass clef is similar to drawing the treble clef. Writing the names of these pitches is pretty much like you saw in the apply it or the try it. Here they give you some tunes. Here are the sunshine of my life. And you're naming letter names on the staff now in the context of a tune. I don't know how, musical this activity is. How musical is notation itself. That's a good question, right? But here, we move from a C to a D. That might be worth mentioning. We pick up the pen here one more time. The pen is selected. I think I like the little thing on here. C, 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 D, D. And they pick a place where the changes. D is down a skip to a B. A, G, that sort of thing. And then when you get to the Beatles tune, they give you this segment here that is this segment. I say hi, you say no, you say why, and I say I don't know. You know that tune, I'm sure. At least your parents or grandparents have played it for you, right? So I think in a way the harmony and the patterns of melody are much more interesting than what the note names are. It's good, if you're in rehearsal and you have to say you want to start that second verse on B or D F F C E E. For me, the piece is in C. It's a little bit more important to think of it in structural scale degree numbers. That's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. That's really 2, 4, 4, 1, 3, 3, 7, 2, 2, 5, 6, 1, 1, 3, 5. Alright, it ends on 1, as you can hear, kind of comes to a close there. Name them. Humorous while you do that. Later on, worksheet 1.2, we're talking about ledger lines and then I think octave numbers. Let's see here. Let's clear this. And for each pitch on the notated staff, write its number on the correct key of the keyboard. And this is important to know that if that's middle C, how far below that is number 1? If that's middle C, where in relationship to that is that? Well, that's the B directly below it. So that's number 2. So you'd write, you'd write number 2 right there. Do that. What you're going to do for me is, if you want, print out these pages, and I've put all the pages separately in the course content area. Fill them out, scan them, load them back up. You can probably do it in a PDF reader. You can write right on the PDF reader for what they're asking for here. 3 is the first space of the treble clef, so we know that's an F. Where is it is the big question. Oops, I forgot to write B in here. That F is the F directly above middle C. So if that's C4, this is going to be F4. We're still at the place where we, that's number 3, right? Haven't identified octave numbers yet. Moving right along. Name the pitch with octave number now. Whereas since middle C is C4, that's the A directly above it, still in the 4 octave. And so would this B be, by the way. That would have been B4. So that's C5, and that's this ledger line here is C6, so this is going to be D6. Written more neatly than that. I'm just writing with a mouse. Here's middle C or C4. This is therefore in the octave below 4. It's 3. That's a G. It's G in the 3rd octave. I think to know that it's the G directly below C, the nearest G below C, is probably more important. The octave number can really help. It gives you a sense of, there's these octaves. Octave equivalence is a huge deal, right? The C is physically, acoustically, right? Much the same as the C. They are direct twofold multiples of one another. This C is sounding at twice the frequency of this. This is half the frequency of this. I mean, that's why being letter named, there's so much. A lot of people wouldn't be able to tell that that's 2 different pitches when I play it like that. That's how similar those pitches are. It's not their fault either. Going on to let's clear this. Second part of 1.2 gives you some of these pages, and then some of these melodies are more interesting than what their note names are, but they want this for these. And some of these tunes are kind of cool. This Mozart set of variations, that it's a vocal melody. C, that's C3, right? Then C4, E, C, F, C, E, C, D, B. Just name them. You're bouncing around between octaves. It's good to know. This is going to be E. Remember, this is bass clef, so we are right above C4, so it's still in the E4 octaves. So that's E4. Then a step above that is going to be, just use alphabetical order, same octave, F4. Right, back to the same thing, E4, kind of thing. Give you the chance, by the way, it's interesting to hear these pieces. This is, it's going to be a tricky little set of variations. Let's hear what that sounds like. One of the cool things that Mozart does is he plays with that interval size as you come down between the G and the E, right? And then he expands it by bringing the floor down. Now we've got a 7th between F and E. He brings the top down, closes it back to a 6th, and and then 7th, 6th, 7th, 6th, and that resolves up to that chord like that. Probably wrote this when he was about, I don't know, 13 years old, and it's pretty good for 13, I think we all know. And then this set of variations here, nice one to hear, right? Good old dead air in the online course lecture. We're not going to get that. All right, so anyway, bass clef, right? Really low, and this would be C3, and this is the bottom part of this. One more note would have been the C2. So this is D. This is going to be D2. All right. So you go here, right? D2 for that, and now we're below C2, so we're in the 1 octave. This is going to be B1 in that case. So they've picked some examples that bounce right over the cusp of where the octave changes, and that's nice and challenging. Writing pitches with ledger lines, octave numbers. You'll learn from the apply it. Knows how to do this, but they've numbered things in terms of above middle C or in and around, mostly below middle C for these things. Therefore, the bass clef. Notice above middle C, but in terms of the bass clef. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. They want you to use ledger lines to show that in terms of the bass clef, you can still notate things well above middle C, and there'd be the line for middle C. This is the G, I believe, above it. C4, D4, E4, F4, G4. All right, that's going to be that third ledger line. I didn't write this note head very well centered on that line. That's probably a little bit better there. You can use a solid note head or an open note head. A lot of times they'll be stemmed if they're not that, but that's going to be your G, what is it? In the 4th octave. So G4. In terms of the bass clef. That's the same note you might know as, for instance, this note here. Alright, there's middle C just the same. But here, it would have been a, there's that second line of the staff, just like that. Moving along. Worksheet 1.3, we've got 2 minutes. Writing pitches with ledger line stems and octave numbers. So, good thing to remember is that the stem goes up from the right-hand side of the note head and down from the left-hand side of the note head. These are going to be half notes the way you write them here, and if it's below the center point of the staff, like this, then the stem goes up, typically, and if it's above the line like that, the stem comes down. I just wrote the A5 in the wrong place, by the way. I did the A5 actually, because I wrote A4. Now the stem's going to come down. The C6, what I actually wrote there is C5, so you're going to here. The stem's going to come down, just like that. We have 1 minute left. Let's see what's going to happen next. These are much the same. Rewrite exactly 2 octaves lower. So you know the octave number is going to be a twofold difference like this. This is going to be the same octave as this, F3, and then 2 notes lower than this would be F1. Anything new on the next page, I should ask? Let's clear that. I Dream of Jeannie with the Light Brown Hair, Stephen Foster tune. And then they want you to write the music down 1 octave. So what was... There's part of it. You're going to notate down 1 octave. Now on the bass clef. Something like that. And you just transpose it down. And we're out of time for that. But they give you some other tunes to do that with. Good luck. I'll talk